Very nice.
Just like 15, 20 minutes.
Started recording.
We're recording.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna edit this, or maybe I won't. Who knows? Hit like if I didn't edit this. Comment below if I didn't edit this, but should have.
Oh man, well, welcome to Mature Adult Time, everybody.
Mature Adult Time Quarantine Edition.
Quarantine summer. It's not even summer yet, but hot ass edition.
It's hot as fuck.
It feels like summer.
You're over there in El Sereno, where it's probably way hotter.
Even hotter, yeah. It has to be.
What is your temperature today, Fina?
I'm coming at you from East LA, from my garage, which I left open. Sometimes I forget and leave it open, and fucking a bird got in here and shat on a couple of things.
I mean, you're not scared of people stealing shit? Let me just leave my fucking garage open?
No, it's in the back of her house. It's fenced in.
So, no, I didn't turn off. I thought I closed it yesterday, and then I had something in front of the sensor, so it aired out, and it didn't close.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't notify me, and then for some reason this morning at like 4 a.m., I woke up, and I was like, I feel like the garage door's open, and I looked, and it was. So I closed it.
Man, and that bird went in there and just shit?
We have a connection in this garage, me and this garage. Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, that's good. I also had animals coming into my place, into my room over the past couple of days. We've had a baby possum that keeps reappearing.
Ooh. Did you name it? We had a baby possum in our garage a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. So it's we didn't name it, but it was in my room 3 times this week. I caught it in there. I saw its mom once, but this time I finally carried it a couple blocks away and dumped it in some bushes down there instead of the bushes in front of our house. So I hope he's having a great life.
If the possum comes back, are you gonna try to get rid of it again? Or are you gonna name it and start feeding it?
No, I'm not gonna start feeding possums. I'm not gonna start doing that.
Once you feed one, they all start coming, right? Is that
I don't know if you can feed possums.
I know you can eat them.
I
know you can eat possums. Good eating. Mind you, I've learned everything from television, and I learned that from Beverly Hillbillies. Possums is good eating.
Possum. Melania, I want to just point out real quick. I'm wearing this blue tank top, and I matched this straw perfectly with the blue tank top.
I like it. It matches on your hat. I like the vibes.
And then I want to tell you guys what I'm drinking real quick.
Does your underwear match though?
In this quarantine. So this is some tequila.
That's not wearing any.
With lime, White Claw, and then I cut up some Serrano peppers.
Oh wow!
Because I've been obsessed with them lately. They're super spicy, and what I keep doing is fucking handling spicy stuff and then touching. I wash my hands, but it's still so spicy that if I touch my ear starts burning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But you've done that you've done that in the past. You touch spicy stuff and then you forget
all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm spicy shit every day, so my whole body is on fire constantly.
Just don't try to rub one out with Serrano fingers. Whoa.
Oh shit.
Oh, that'd be too much.
That's amateur hour. Never do that. Always wash your hands, especially in this day and age.
Could you imagine?
No.
I mean, a friend of mine in this quarantine actually, she nared her vagina a couple days ago, and it didn't go well for her. And I mean, I told her not to do it, and she did it anyway.
Did she use the special nair? There is genital nair. I know this because I once nared my body, genitals and all, so I know, and I didn't use the genital nair, but I know it exists.
Oh no, she made herself bleed blood. She made herself raw.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and her coochie.
I tried to nair my legs, and I ended up being very uncomfortable. I didn't bleed. It was really itchy, and the hair didn't really come out. I just was kind of hairy and uncomfortable. But
I nared myself once with my friend. I was at her house, and her parents made her buy her own shavers and toothpastes, and she was 13. And so she's like, I don't have any shavers, and I'm broke. We're fucking broke girls. No, actually, we were grown. We were going to a fucking rave, so I was at least 18. We went to her house and
You could still be broke at 18.
Yeah, we were broke. We were definitely broke, but I was older than 13. But like the thing was, her parents made her buy all her own shit. So like she didn't have anything. She's like, let's just get Nair, then we could both shave, like, you know. And I was like, okay, we Naired our whole bodies for a rave, and it ended up with the both of us taking a shower at the same time because it fucking hurt. But we didn't do like our vajayjays and stuff.
Oh,
So you
I
messed
nared
up?
my legs once, and don't they give you something to like
scrape the hair
to
off.
scrape it? And I just
No.
remember seeing like the like chunks of hair, like just follicles and all, just like coming out, being like, "Whoa,
Trippy.
what?"
Yeah, it's trippy. I mean, my first encounter with Nair, I thought it was lotion, and I was like a baby girl. And it was my aunt. It hurt me. It was fun.
I remember the commercial. Who wears short shorts?
Yeah, nairing is definitely not the option. Once I'm able to get a wax again, they're probably gonna have to mow my lawn before they even wax it. It's gonna be too long for them to wax.
Yeah.
Like,
You should mow it.
Yeah, you're not gonna
You should bring the
self-mow?
lawn in
I don't.
mowed.
The only mower in my house is my dad's beard trimmer. I'm not trimming my pubes with his face trimmer, and
I
I'm not
got a
buying
mower.
one.
I got.
Use
You just go
disinfectant.
get it. It's a little peanut. It's called a peanut.
What's a peanut?
It's like a little electric zoom zoom zoom.
Is it for girls?
Get
Just-
this same one is for boys, but it's probably cheaper. I'll show you what I have. It's like just a professional hair thing, but it's
Yeah,
a
no, the only reason why I'm asking it, the only reason why I'm asking is because to say like girls' products have such funny names. Like when I bought my vibrator on Amazon, it's Tracy's dog. Like
Tracy's dog?
Tracy's dog. That's it. Go on Amazon and hit Tracy's dog, and you will see some shit. But it's like, who thought of that? Like what?
Tracy's dog.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
That's like some Beauty and the Beast type shit right there.
I mean, honestly, this thing is beautiful. It has a sucker in it. It sucks. It's the craziest thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Even though yesterday
That's,
I was
Karen's dog.
yesterday I was looking through it. I was like, man, I only bought the one with 7 changers. There's one with 12.
Uh,
Well, I mean,
I'm
that's
gonna
you're
read
probably
that.
good because I mean, it's not going to make it shorter.
I honestly just like the one.
Right.
There's only one of the vibration modes that I like anyway.
Yeah,
You-
that's how it always goes. Like they give you so many, and then it's just like most of these are a waste.
Yeah, like, I don't get the fast vibrate and then go slow thing.
Everyone has their own frequency.
Yeah, they
Yes.
just throw them on.
Yeah,
they just,
yeah.
they just
They
throw them
do.
on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's like
mean,
Sirius satellite radio, you know? Everyone has like a different one.
Yeah.
You know?
different channel. Different.
Yeah,
But
you
they-
want to listen to Third Eye Blind channel all day long? Enjoy yourself. Sirius provides, you know.
Oh man. So I want to just give you guys a quick update on my EDD, unemployment insurance, because I still haven't gotten it, and it's been a hassle. But today I've realized why I didn't get it.
When did
So,
you
like-
apply? What, how many weeks has it been? Just for, you know?
I applied March 22nd.
Okay, so it's over a
Yeah,
month.
that's a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I was approved for like 300 something bucks. And then I never got anything. And sorry, I had an eyelash, I had to make a wish. I never got it online to check. And so you know how you can certify your weeks through paper or online, so I changed it to be online so I could do that. Because they only had sent me one paper to certify. And then I couldn't do anything after I did that online. Like every time I clicked to certify, it would just error out. And then I looked, and the reason I didn't get my money is because it said I was disqualified, right? But it didn't give me a reason why. They didn't send me anything in the mail. Didn't do anything.
What is certifying? What is certifying?
So certify meaning like you answered the questions to their satisfaction. So yes, you looked for a job. No,
Okay.
you didn't refuse work, like all that stuff. So and I filled it out correctly. I did look for a job. Luckily I took a photo of the form before I sent it back. So finally today I was able to I emailed them on Friday, so I'm waiting to hear back from them. I've been calling every day, can't get through. They're not even really accepting phone calls most of the day. And so when I looked online, they showed a copy of my verification or certification for the week, and they inputted it wrong. So where I said yes, they put no. So
That
that's
sucks.
gotta be it. So they messed up, and now I can't contact them to get my shit. It's over $5,000. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here looking at the bottom of my fucking weed jar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the bullshit about that is like, what the fuck? Are these motherfuckers gonna wait to get back to you once they fucking open up California again? And it's like, no, fuck you guys. Like,
They
I didn't get the
still
money
owe it.
from the time that I was off of work.
I still think the money's fake
They
news.
still-
I ain't got any free money.
I know that both of you guys. That's really weird that happened because I got the stimulus check.
It's because they knew we were comedians.
That too.
My
They're like, we'll pay them last.
My stimulus
That's
check hit today.
Your stimulus hit today.
Yeah, I
Good
just sent it
news.
back
Oh,
to him.
and
I
you're-
paid my taxes. Boom, done.
Well, that's good. That's good.
What a trick.
Mine is supposed to be coming. Mine supposedly mailed on the 1st, but it doesn't update and say if it actually mailed. It just keeps saying it was mailed on the 1st, and it may take up to 2 weeks.
Yeah,
to
I'm such a
receive it.
lazy little shit that I just been living off the stimulus, but I finally applied. So they said on the 10th I'll be able to go check and see, like my whatchamacallit,
Sure.
my payments or whatever I'm gonna get. Like I'm expecting a fucking card in the mail. I guess that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on a card.
You'll get like a debit card or something.
Art, did you file your taxes last year?
I think so.
He's self-employed though, so it's different.
Yeah, but
Still file taxes,
I
and
had
that's where the
like,
stimulus
it was
goes.
kind of weird because around that time I was in the I had to do like paperwork for the hospital that I was in, which also required me to do my taxes. But I was hospitalized, so my sisters did it for me. I don't really know what
What happened?
Yeah, I was kind of out of it at the end of April when I should have been doing that. So I don't know. I've just filed my current ones though, so hopefully that gets me in there. And I did. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did though.
I just want to make the.
that
But I
should-
think that
that
this
should
is
get-
going to be like
So
our
when you get
bonus.
as old as me, just all these tax seasons just fit into one lifetime.
Like a lot of people are
Always
making
pay
a lot
taxes.
more
It's always
money.
like, when am I not fucking paying taxes? Why else am I broke, dude?
True.
That's
true.
like a great quote from a Megadeth song. It's like, what do you mean I don't pay my taxes?
Well, 'cause my
Why do
dad-
you think I'm broke?
I paid the sales tax for the bar, the last one, and my dad's like, next month we're gonna have to do the same stupid shit, but tell them we didn't make shit. And I was like, that's weird. Like that's a weird one to have to like
I can't tax zero.
go. Yeah, like you can't tax nothing, but for us to input, we did like made zero money for the month is kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It is, man. It's like that whole industry just has to like take this weird hit, and it's like I heard this guy on Joe Rogan. He's like one of those guys that sell aged meat, and he's like trying to like justify like I'm not saying he's wrong, but like he was like trying to say like how he has over like $10,000 in inventory every day for like his food and stuff. And he's
Because it always has to be fresh.
well, no, it's like it's aged meat. Like
Oh, well.
it's like over a year old meat. Like he's storing meat, and what he says like are caves, which is it's probably bomb as fuck. I don't know, but like he's basically saying like how like his business overhead for a day is he said he's not paying his rent. He's like, I'm just ignoring rent right now. It's in Hollywood, right across from the Palladium. That's where his store's located. He said, I'm just ignoring rent. You know?
Yeah,
And
there's
he's-
a whole rent strike movement.
yeah. I don't know why people just didn't do that. Like, nah, let's just not pay that.
Well, it's an interesting one because I know that there's different the way that commercial real estate and like residential real estate is handled very different, and a lot of times I've heard and I've been involved with like some places that have shut down that have kind of tried to do things like this that have you basically go on because you're signing like a 15-year lease or a 30-year lease, so you'll go on rent strike as a renegotiation thing, and I guess that it's a lot harder from what I understand. It's a lot harder to evict businesses, so it's almost like a negotiation tactic for these businesses to be like, no, we're gonna go on. We're not gonna pay you, but we'll negotiate. They'll probably eventually end up paying like a less amount for the month, but then. That doesn't work for fucking citizens, which is like which is such a crazy thing. And now they're even talking about like there's a push for businesses that they don't want to have fixed leases anymore. They want to have leases that are kind of based on the flow of their business.
well, yeah, I mean that makes sense. And not regarding just like in quarantine aspects, like it's really fucked up that all the big corporations were still allowed to stay open to make money, but mom and pop shops that depend on making money are being forced to shut down when some of them sell the same shit as like Target or whatever, like smaller markets and things like that. They shouldn't have had to shut down. They should have been able to stay open. I'm sorry.
Those are all open in my neighborhood.
in your neighborhood? I mean, I've seen some places close, and then
Some places I think are closing on their own accord.
But
If
it's
they're like a market.
when did bicycles become an essential? The bicycle shop by my bar literally every day has 20 people in line, and I get it, but it's like, how is that essential? Like, how are they
Well,
still?
it's just keeping people sane.
Did you just shoot Serafina in the forehead?
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I was trying to squeeze it back onto this pole, and it just like launched off. It's a clip meant to hold the cord, and I pulled it off, and I was pushing it on, and it just fought back. I don't know.
Back to what Eric was saying, though, I think it does take a while to evict people from their homes. It takes at least, I think, 2 to 3 months.
Depends.
Yeah,
It depends. They
This
can
is
get
another
you a
thing TV
sheriff.
has showed me, and Shameless. It's actually very difficult. Fiona was in this predicament, and it's very difficult to actually evict a family. You have to get the
Yeah.
sheriff involved and shit.
Yeah, especially, I mean, luckily for us, especially in California, because different states have different laws, and I think that California is pretty lenient towards the rentee. You know,
They're pro renters.
yeah.
Yeah, and squatter.
Pro renter with fucking high ass rent though, without rent control.
Yeah, that's
But that's the thing.
Suck
So
a
I
dick.
think maybe if there is a strike, because I have a friend who is going on strike. I think rent strike.
What kind of
And
rent
she's
strike?
talking to people in her like they're not paying rent, and she hasn't paid full rent since it started because she had 2 restaurant jobs and 2 kids. You know what I mean? Like, but so I think this might help in the long run to where it's gonna, because our prices for housing and stuff has just gone up. It might help in the long run to bring it down.
Well,
You know?
we'll see. I mean, I
I
have
really
a friend.
hope so, dude.
I have a friend that's looking into a house right now, and they want her. The rent is like $2,800, and they want the first
damn.
3. And it's like, how the fuck do you expect somebody to come up with that kind of money out of their asshole? Like, that's a lot of money. And it's like,
Not
why
if
do
you're
you,
a Chinese businessman.
why do you need that much like proof of
mean,
like
first-
that much insurance? you
first
know?
3 is a lot. First
First-
two is pretty common.
First
you know.
3.
Well,
that's
the first
same
is
thing.
Take
last.
First, last,
grand.
and security.
Yeah, first, last, and security.
That's 3.
Yeah.
That's 3 because you can do your security deposit can be up to what your rent is in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually, I don't know if I've ever lived at a place anywhere in my life that my security deposit was not the same as my rent.
No, that's what
Like,
I
That's just what
have.
they
I
do.
fucking had a guy. That guy let me apply for this apartment with a pencil, and then he xeroxed
pencil?
it. I swear to God, this old German man I got an apartment from, and homeboy was legit. He was like, "What do you have in cash right now?" I told him, and he was like, "Okay, come back to fill out the
I wish there's more people like that.
info." I went over there, and he gave me a pencil.
Xerox it and then erase it so you can use it again.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. He
Yeah,
was
you
this
think
old
about it.
German man. He gave it to me in pencil, and he's like, "I will Xerox it, and I'll come back with your copy." And because I asked him, I was like, "Is it okay if I do it with the pencil?" He's like, "Yes." Like, it was funny, and that man was dope as fuck, and he was like legit, real cool.
Where was it?
In the valley. In the valley.
I saw a video of like all these people in the valley. It was like a car club or something, and they were doing burnouts.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they blocked the whole intersection doing burnouts, and they hit a couple of people, like of the friends that people who were blocking it.
Yeah.
No one got hurt or anything, but it was pretty funny.
Stupid asses. There was a secret sesh on Sunday that I had. So I have a friend that does seshes. So there was a secret sesh on Sunday because seshes have been canceled due to the quarantine.
What's a sesh?
So sesh is like basically like weed parties, like parties where a bunch of vendors go. They rent out a big old they rent out a warehouse, and then vendors set up their tables, and then you could go in there and buy weed, edibles, smoke.
It's like a beer festival, but for
Be a
weed.
festival for weed, and
Gun
they happen
convention.
often. My friend runs them, and she does them often. She's the one that for that amusement park thing that you and I signed up for.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So she said that there was a secret sesh on Sunday, and the cops came in with no warrant. And they're like, granted, they did do a sesh during quarantine, but the cops came in this building with no warrant, and for the first time ever in a raid, they took every vendor's everything. They took all their money, all their drugs, but nobody went to jail. I was like, so basically, the cops robbed you fools. Like,
They did. That's what they fucking did to me
exactly
when they
what they
pulled me
did.
over.
yeah,
Breaking the
Tanya, I gotta take a photo of how my screen looks for you because I can see your eyes and then the rest of your face looks like an elephant there. Like,
OB.
don't-
Oh, yeah, you
Oh,
Yeah,
I can
don't
see
do-
it right
in the
there.
corner. Yeah. But yeah, that shit's fucking wild. Like to just you know what? Hey, these fuckers are supposed to be at home anyways. Let's just go in there and rob them. No
Yeah.
one's gonna do shit.
They're not gonna do shit. She said
That's
that
fucked up.
the cops came in like 2 cars, and both cars had like 4 cops in. Like this shit, these
Oh,
fools
they
taxed
full
that
on
ass.
just yeah, they
full
full
on
on
they
robbed
did.
it. Yeah.
fucking
They
rob
did.
these fools. 'Cause
Well.
it's like,
You get any badge numbers with that one?
no, she said that it was really weird. They weren't really dressed. It was all shady. I was like, well, why did whoever was watching the door let them in? Like they didn't
Yeah,
have a
it's
warrant. And even though they were doing something wrong, if you don't have a warrant, you can't come in.
What security
legally.
guard's gonna sit there and tell the cops?
8 cops.
You can't come in.
Yeah, 8 cops with guns. I'd imagine. Guns drawn. I'd imagine.
Like, nah, you guys, I
Nah,
need
you
to see
guys-
some papers.
Also,
And be like,
have an
and
exit
as they
plan.
go in, he leaves.
Yeah.
Why don't you have an exit plan when you're doing shit like that? You should always have an exit plan.
I mean,
Something where you can wrap your shit up, zip lock it up, and run out.
I
Should
mean,
be
be
run-
smart
at least
or
videotape
do a
that
mobile fucking sesh and
All-
have people walk up to your cars so you guys could just fucking contactless sesh. Like,
Or
pop
you-
the trunk, somebody's watching you.
At least do all fucking Venmo payments. Just be like, look, today we're doing Venmo payments. That's it. That's it.
Oh, you don't got Venmo, then you don't got weed.
Yeah, you don't got Venmo. You don't got weed here today. That's it.
And they
So at least-
confiscate phones.
yeah, but you can still get into your Venmo. I mean,
Yeah,
that may raise other federal issues because it's not federally legal. But I guess that's just it's a gamble one way or the other.
Well,
You
if
wanna
it's like
fuck
a
them later?
festival and it's just like it's all you can smoke, but you have to pay like a top dollar to get in.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And then there's no money involved
There
at
should
all.
be no money involved. Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of
Just jacking trees.
like kind of a hustle, I'm starting to hustle. Melania is on it.
You're hustling Melania?
Well,
You
no,
shouldn't tell her. She's right here.
she's gonna help me. It's not
What
a
are you guys
hustle.
pyramid
I mean,
scheming?
hustling as in the fact that I'm working hard to make something a good quality product and getting it out there for money, not hustling people out of their money.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm making hair oil out of hibiscus flower. It's basically just hibiscus. Well, it's not basically. It is hibiscus and coconut oil, and it's been super good. Like I like it for my hair. Melania likes it for her hair.
Yeah.
Melania, I'm gonna go grab a flower just to show. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, then you can see right now in like 1 minute, like what this
Yeah.
hair oil is coming.
Yeah, we're gonna be selling them in different size containers, but it's really good for your hair, and I'm living by it too. I've actually, since she gave me her hair oil, I haven't been putting any products in my hair, like at all, other than that oil, and it's making my hair's not getting as knotty as it would, and I think that's like, and I don't believe in pushing products that I don't stand by. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna push something, I need to live by it. And this shit is bomb. It
Well, and
smells good.
And it's great. It's great for beards too. Like it's not just hair; it could be all hair. I haven't
Yeah.
tried. I haven't tried. Like
And-
Serafina brought me some the other week. I haven't tried it out yet. I mean, I've used it in my beard, but I bet it'd be good in your pubes too.
I was
like
just
anything.
thinking that in my head, like maybe since I got pubes now, should maybe
Oh God.
oil
Well,
them
it's for
up.
Oil 'em up.
external use only, you guys. External use only. And two, it's good for premature graying. It's good for like moisturizing your hair, but also it's good to promote hair growth. So I know like I'm losing a little bit hair on the sides of my head because of I don't know stress or old age, whatever. But it seems to be helping with that. But look how beautiful and deep colored these are, and they're coming straight from my yard.
They're
So-
pretty and they pop up fast too, you guys. She'll take the flowers down on the bush, and the next day they'll be blooming again.
20 more.
Pretty rad. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
That's nice. So where can people find these if they're interested in purchasing them?
Just hit me up on Instagram. Message me. I've been doing not just that, but like in my garden. Like today, I made a nice arrangement for my house. But I'm making like little bouquets, and I've just been like making stuff like cards too, and just dropping them off at people's houses just to get out and spread some love to my friends. Like my friend Angie, who made me this beautiful mask.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm so
I
sad.
gave her
Sorry,
some
Angie. My stoner ass lost my
Two
mask.
made from Angie. One from my good friend Melania. Where's yours at, Mel?
I got high and dropped it. It fell off my face.
Oh shoot!
Literally.
While it lasted. But yeah, so shout out to Angie, Highly Angie. She has a great YouTube actually channel called Highly Crafty, and I've been on an episode where you get high and she shows you a craft.
Oh, nice.
I have a question for you guys. How has the Rona, like, are y'all scared of this at all? Do y'all think that, what, how do you guys feel about it? Because I was at first very scared and very, people breathing. And at this point, I'm kind of over it now. And I don't know if it's just because I'm tired of not...
Sensitized?
I'm sorry?
Because you're, desensitized?
Yeah, it's I'm like, what the fuck? If I can go to the supermarket around a fucking bunch of people and breathe their air, why the fuck can't I serve alcohol? Just don't get it. Alcohol kills germs.
Yeah, what are you gonna do at the bar and someone comes in all coffee and
oh my god! So you know what? That's a new
service.
That's a new rule. After this, I don't give a fuck. Anybody that comes in asking for a hot toddy because they don't feel well is getting kicked out. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of this shit. Because right before the coronavirus,
no sickos.
Right before the coronavirus happened, one of my customers, did the fucking come close because I gotta tell you something gesture, and as I came close, this fool was fucking coughing in the...
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. He kept coming in sick, and then he's like, I'm just going to have one because I'm not feeling good. Well, go home with your ass. Why are you coming here?
Yeah, I a hot toddy is a fucking great thing for when you're not feeling well. It's fucking great. Just make it for yourself at home. There's no reason to go out somewhere for it.
When it's cold, not because I'm sick.
That's the only medicine I take, so...
I don't know. So that coughing thing, because I took my cat to the vet this morning, and now how you do is you sit in your car and they come get the cat from you or your animal, and then they go in, and then it's all over the phone payments and all that shit. So they came and got Rocco, and I'm chilling. I'm fucking smoking a bowl in the car, just hanging out, watching, figuring out my EDD stuff. And then they call me to tell me the payment, and I'm doing it, and I just start coughing because I'm smoking weed, not thinking I'm talking on the phone. And I was like, oh shit, this bitch probably thinks I'm sick. Now you're self-conscious all the time. And that's a running joke. It's I'm just, it's weed, not la corona, but still.
But that's just true.
That's pretty funny.
And don't say it with the Spanish accent. You better say it with the Chinese one.
No, the other day I was at Sprouts and this
Corona.
lady was coughing and sneezed, and she was behind me in line, and all the tellers looked up and dogged her, and she was weird. She was she was in some sort of plastic suit and a shower cap on. She just looked like she shouldn't just stay in. The public doesn't want you or need you
right now, though, I've got really bad allergies where sometimes I'm coughing because of allergies, or I sneeze in the morning. Yeah. When you feel like you have a sneeze stuck in you, so I just hit the bong really hard, and then I cough, and then I go 3 consecutive sneezes in a row, and I get it out, every fucking morning these days. Nice. But I'm sneezing and all that stuff, but allergies, it's not corona. But it's you feel a certain way. I think I did before anyway, but even extra now being in public, you're more self-conscious about what you're putting across, I think.
Yeah.
Which could be a good thing. I just want things to get back to normal. I'm not scared of the coronavirus now. I'm scared of I'm scared of what they're not telling us. Because all of a sudden it was the coronavirus, and then some fucking Asia fucking murder hornet just showed up. I feel like we're living Jumanji right now. That's how I feel.
China's throwing all their Jumanji weapons at us?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Hey, what if all of the movies we made come true?
Wait, the murder hornets are from
That's why
there,
they make 2 of every
They're
movie.
from Asia. That's what they're labeled. Asia murder hornet.
And no one made another Jumanji movie, so Jumanji shit started happening.
You know, I was never that scared of getting sick personally, and I felt like if I got it, I wouldn't have probably had to go to the doctor. I'm a healthy person. I've been sick. I probably would have just stayed home and been sick. But I am still concerned for elderly people and the people that I know. I mean, not all the people, but personally, the people in my family that are immunocompromised. I want them to be careful, and I want there to be ways for them to be able to go out and do things safely and be able to go out and shop.
Bubble boy.
But maybe some people should be able to go back to work, and some people who don't feel safe should be able to still work from home. And I don't see anything wrong with that, but I think that it should be an option in some way so that people who are scared, or you have little kids or something, you can still have some distance. But for those of us that are ready to start going into the world and feel healthy,
why not?
Well, I mean, it could really present some, some good opportunities for people to kind of reinvent the way their life is. Like you mentioned, maybe more people are going to be working from home, and maybe more people are going to be able to structure days the way they want, work wise. And I mean, yeah, there's sectors and there's businesses that are going to probably eventually just go back to business as usual. But maybe as a whole, we can kind of hopefully take these 2 months that a lot of people have been locked inside and take a look at like what's important to them, what they enjoy, and like find ways to make that valuable, and see that, hey, if we can pull out a couple $1 billion to hand over to businesses that don't need it, then maybe we can just help our people. Maybe Andrew Yang's universal basic income isn't that crazy of an idea. Give everyone enough to like just be able to survive, and then let's see what people do, and some of them will just take that. But I think we it's up to us now to kind of help foster that.
Yeah, I mean,
and in some ways demand it.
I mean, I've always been weird about people being in my bubble, right? So I think that people need to just be more self-aware of themselves in general, because a lot aren't. A lot of people just go out in the world and give no fucks.
Like amusement parks? People just get in the lines.
In the line, and then just
come
push
right on
you
your back
and touch you. It's like, don't
why?
fucking touch me.
Yeah,
like, we're not going any faster.
Now everyone has to be 6 feet apart. I'm gonna be so happy about that.
I love it. It's funny. I was at Sprouts the other day, and I was buying seafood, and fucking this guy, I was on FaceTime. I was on FaceTime with Zach, and I know you guys don't like people being on FaceTime in stores, but I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
I was asking Zach.
As long as you have headphones in.
I was asking Zach for like.
Did you have headphones in?
Fuck no. But there was nobody around me. And all I needed was him to help me fucking choose seafood.
Bubble, huh?
Yeah, I had to choose seafood. So I was like showing him what they had, and he was giving me, his feedback. And this guy comes up right fucking behind me. Like, there's so much space. And he comes up, and I'm like, yo, can you respect my space, please? And Zach starts busting up. So I just fucking hung up on him because I was like, I don't want to hear me. And then the guy that I was getting the seafood from was very adamant about getting me only live mussels and clams, so he was picking them up one by one to look at them. So it was an awkward 5 minutes standing there next to the guy that I told to back up. And he's just looking at me like, bitch, how much are you going to order? Like, yeah, respect my space and keep calm, because I'm going to be here for
That's
a while.
just how it's going to be now, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you have to just
I don't
keep
mind
the
that,
space.
though. I don't mind that. And when I start
That's a good
working,
thing.
I think that I want to come up with. I mean, I'm really good at reading lips. I'm really good at reading lips already when I'm at the cinema. I'm not gonna do the whole lean in and let people talk in my fucking ear anymore. Like, I'm not. I feel as us in the bar at the cinema, we put ourselves out there.
No
a
one
lot.
ever leans into my ear. I'm like, what? 'Cause I'm not that busy to where.
Well,
I
you don't work at night either.
Yeah,
really.
that's what I
Like,
just said.
at night, sometimes you have to, like, so with people with accents and people that are like, I'm like, just mouth it. Like, I'll tell people, mouth it, and if you do it well, I can read your lips.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm gonna like
Or even have
continue to.
Well, just think of how it was to get a drink in there. Like, you'd have to reach over like 6 people, or
Yeah.
and just like that's not going to be like that anymore.
It's
dude.
not. It's not. People, I think, are gonna respect, or it's not gonna stay as busy. It's not gonna get as packed as it used to.
It will eventually, because people will get drunk and forget, and then they'll remember they did it and go, it was okay, and then they'll get drunk. It'll happen. Like, we go back to normal. We are creatures like of habit.
Yeah, but like Eric said, I hope we do make some positive changes. And if these corporations aren't going to pay their taxes because we have someone like fucking Trump and all the other politicians in there making sure that their fucking buddy corporations, who are considered people, which is ridiculous, don't pay their taxes, then they should be paying directly to the American people, because that's not fair for us to be paying more taxes than them, and they have all the money. Like, that, it doesn't, like, that's how they're keeping us fucking down. With that, we don't have money, we don't have education, and we don't have fucking healthcare.
Gotta get them.
I'm just glad that I eat healthy.
I'm just trying to figure out how to survive on the outskirts of all this shit.
I'm glad that it motivated us to like start planning and
I don't wanna
thinking
be
about
a
all
part
the
of any
things,
of it.
because we never. It's there for us, but we've never thought about it. Like, oh, we could really just grow most of this shit that we eat at home.
I think Eric and I thought about it like 3 years ago.
Yeah, you thought about it 3 years ago, but you thought about it 3 years ago.
And thought about it,
And
and
been
thought
trying.
about it, and thought about it. Yeah.
So
I've always
we've
done it.
actually been
We
able
had
to
our
nip
other
the butt.
doctor
I
who did
literally, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really excited to see what's growing in my little house right now, and I'm happy about it. But if it wasn't for this quarantine, I would have still been thinking about the shit.
Yeah, and I mean, I think also too, like when we went into quarantine, I mean, the whole idea was to, at least to my understanding, let's not overrun the hospitals. Let's make sure that we don't overrun the hospitals, and we clear down this and we stop this spread. And at 2 months, I mean, it's it can't get much better. I can't imagine. Like I don't know how much more we could stop it.
I mean, they're all stocked up from what I can hear. Like the hospitals seem to be like safe. Like those ships, they pulled out those big medical ships.
Oh, did they pull those? They pulled those out. They're not used. They're not used.
They're probably stationed. They're probably stationed somewhere else. But yeah, they sent them away from. I think they were by Seattle and New York. They moved them away like a while ago.
Okay, so
there was one here in Long Beach too. That shit's gone too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they said like they're stocked now. They have all their supplies. There was like a bunch of weird shady deals I heard. You know, a lot of the governments. You were telling me about that Blue Flame, that they were like hustling. Like all these states went and like bought all this equipment. Like California, I heard like did like some secret deal and didn't even get their shit. Like I heard this about these Indians. I forgot what tribe they are, but Native Americans. They ordered a bunch of medical kits, and all they got back were body bags. They were sent body bags
instead.
Instead of tests, and they were like, "What the fuck?" And they like posted it up, all the pictures they received, and said, "Is this like a metaphor or something?" Like they were really pissed off.
That's fucked up. Because
where are they getting it from?
There's
some medical supplies. I got the link. I'll send it to you guys.
There's like medical supply companies. Like there was this guy. His name was like Mike Gile or Mike Gile or something like that, and he was a Republican. He was a longtime Republican fundraiser, and political fundraiser. Like and he was, I guess, one of the best political fundraisers in Washington. And sometime back at the end of March, he sent out a letter to all of his donors and like his whole network, and basically said, "I'm moving on to another endeavor. I'm not going to be doing this anymore." He didn't specify what it was, but he said he was going to be using all of his contacts that he's made throughout all of these years. And he opened this company called Blue Flame Medical, which was all of a sudden out of the blue apparently supposed to be one of the best places for states to go to get this medical, gloves and masks and PPE? Medical PPE, is that what they're calling it? Yeah. PPE. Yeah. And apparently what has been happening is there's stories of the U.S. government and other governments, I'd imagine, basically hijacking shipments from different places. So if a shipment's coming out of China or coming out of different areas, they'll stop it at a transfer point and basically hijack that. It'll then become property of the U.S. government, who will then sell it to a company like Blue Flame, who will then distribute it to all of these all of the states. So like these guys, like Maryland in particular, is they're saying that they authorized something like $15 million in purchases, sent $6 or $7 million, and haven't received anything. And there's rumors that or there's reports that Jared Kushner was specific. There was memos in some of these areas that were distributing the PPE equipment, and they were specifically told to prioritize certain high-profile political figures. There were a couple like Fox newscasters on there, and like they were supposed to prioritize these individuals over states, and it was all people who are generally sympathetic with Trump. And yeah. I mean, I'm not dumb enough to think that other administrations that business is made out of the connections, like that's going to happen no matter where it is. But yeah. to the extent it's happening or appears to be happening right now, while so many people are suffering, is really fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of people were also donating masks to hospitals, but it's like, you guys do understand that legally they're not allowed to accept that or use that because it's not sterilized.
Yeah, their lawyers would be like,
"Yeah, they don't know where it came from."
This is used equipment.
So I mean, I knew one person that's like 3D printing masks, and he's like, "I'm dropping them off," and it's like, I think you might be wasting your time, bud, because it's a nice gesture, but I don't know if they can use it. I heard that there were some nurses that were getting fired for request or getting like in trouble for refusing to go into work without a proper mask, like the N95s,
Yeah.
which they have all the right, but some nurses got in trouble for like
I've
suspended.
heard about that. Yeah.
You can't take care of anybody if they're dead.
Well, yeah, and then like I had my nurse friend. He was like, "I'm pissed when I see a patient come in with a better mask than what the fuck I have on. Like, they're giving me a mask with a brown bag and expecting me to wear this one same mask all day. Like, it's insane. There was I don't know."
But like, how can we expect he can't run? Like, Trump has gone bankrupt and can't run a business correctly. How is he supposed to be running a country, especially in a crisis?
But
Like,
This goes way
this isn't
further
just
back
one
than him.
dude.
This goes way further back than
family's
him
doing it.
because before Trump, we had Obama, and we still, if this would have happened back then, the health, like the fact that we don't have supplies, is very naive of our country to depend on other countries that we can possibly go to war at any time, and not we're depending on them to produce the products that we need, like in case we go to war.
I
what the
agree
fuck?
with that.
And
I agree with that. But then to say, but I don't think under Obama he would be like, oh, I have control to do whatever the fuck I want, but you individual states handle yourself and I'm a backup. You know what I mean? I think there would be more of a cohesive and supportive
Oh yeah.
front coming from the federal government doing what they're
But
supposed
the-
to do.
but-
Did
but-
you guys
but
see the
was
interview
there?
with the Las
what-
Vegas mayor?
But was there? I mean, he increased drone. I mean, the administration increased drone strikes. They increased spying on U.S. citizens under the Obama administration. I mean, I don't think it's. I don't think it's a Trump. I don't think it's a Trump versus Obama thing. I don't
No,
think
but
it's a
we're
Trump versus
talking
Obama.
about-
It's
We were
it's-
talking
it's
about A, and now
government.
we're bringing up B, though. I'm
But-
talking about just the response from, like, just if you
Like,
any
if
crisis.
you were talking
the
shit about
response
him.
from Obama, I can't hear you when I'm talking. Well, the response from Obama was more like an American thing, like let's come together and not be so divisive. You know what I mean? Where Trump, I'm only solely talking about the response that Obama, in my opinion, would have had to the coronavirus opposed to Trump. So if you're bringing up drone strikes and all this other shit, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Let's stay on issue.
My point is that what Trump gets up there and says, and what Obama gets up there and said, or would have said, yes, I do think that he would have had a better public face of handling it than Trump. I mean, I think that
But that matters.
I think that that's pretty clear. But what's most important, I think, is the actions of what they have done. And I think that as a whole, one of the things that the coronavirus has shown to us is that as a whole, the institutions that the American people depend on to protect them have failed across the board in large sweeping things. So it's
Sure.
I like Obama better than Trump, but at the same time, both of them
Failed to plan.
have failed the American people. If the buck stops with them and that's the way it is, then I think they both failed.
Yeah, I saw this fucking hilarious meme that had it was a picture of Trump, and he said, Obama gave y'all trap phones, I gave you re-up money. And I was like, that shit's fucking hilarious. Like, Obama gave you trap phones. Like, it's crazy. We'll see what happens, what change. Like, I don't think we're ever gonna go back to what we saw as normal. I don't think that's gonna happen for a while. I think people are gonna be hella sketched out by each other.
Just hope we get back to riding horses.
I mean, you saw how quick people went to the beaches. We could be back sooner than you think.
Yeah, you're right.
America loves to party, baby.
America does love to party, especially in California. I think it's funny that it just started right when the heat kicked up. Everybody's like, "Yeah, fuck this, not staying home." Like,
They asked us to flatten the curve, and we did.
Yeah.
yeah, we
like,
did. We
yeah.
flattened the curve. Now
Yeah,
we're
but
back.
The curve was flat. He said, "It's
Historically-
flat." It's flat
Oh
now.
shit!
Yeah, no, I was like, but I went to the beach to go see those bioluminescent waves.
Oh, what was that?
Huh?
Was it cool or what?
It was cool as fuck, dude. It was cool. You know I like flashy shit, and the fucking
they
ocean
still
was
beautiful?
glittering. It was
Are
kill.
they still being flashy out there? Them waves?
What?
Are the waves still being flashy, or is it over?
I think that it's they said till Monday, but somebody that I know went last night and it was still hella blue, hella, and fucking yeah.
What
my-
time does it start? I want to go tonight.
I mean, I don't know what time it starts. I
Whenever
just
it's
kind of
dark.
went. I just
late.
I just kind of left their house the other day and found myself at the beach. I didn't really plan anything.
I haven't seen them down here, but I saw those up in Vancouver once. It was the last time I did ecstasy, and I went swimming in them. It was pretty fucking sweet.
That's fucking tight. Yeah, no, it's super trippy. But when I went and drive out there, when I went to drive out there to Malibu, I swear to God, you guys, there were at least 2 miles of cars just parked, and I'm like, yo, this shit reminds me of like high school. I haven't seen that many people at the beach at night since I was a kid. Like, you know. There was a lot of people there with their children to see these waves. It was packed, and I was kind of like weirded out about that. So I just smoked a blunt, saw it real quick, and I was ready to go. Parents was like, "Can we sit?" And I was like, "Nah, dog." Came, I smoked a blunt. I'm fucking out. Too many people at the beach at night. Like,
Bunch of teenagers with nothing to do, hanging out in fucking parking lots.
And they're also hanging out those in the California poppy fields, stomping them out, taking their Instagram pictures.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's so sad.
Somebody in the middle
I know.
of the field, they're like, "Oh, look at." It's like,
yeah. Well, my friend
Just enjoy the
my
shit.
friend up in Lancaster lives by one of those fields.
yeah, that's one of the big
And
ones here.
yeah, and she said that she like cussed a bunch of people out. She cussed them out because they were picking them and like going back there, and then so she was doing this.
You're not supposed to pick them. That's illegal.
That's
Yeah.
so okay. So I told her. She said,
Or
"Where were you
stomp
the
on
other day? It was really pretty." And I told her where I was, and I was like, "Hey," and I was like, I was like, my friend Googled it. It's illegal for you to pick poppies unless they grow on your residence. And she's like, "Really?" And then she told me, she's like, "I don't feel bad then because I've just been cussing people out that I see in my backyard. like I've just been yelling at people, stay away from the poppies."
Well, he goes to someone else's backyard
It's
and
just a
picks
flower.
flowers. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's
Who
not
are
like
you?
her back. It's like behind her house.
All right.
So she has a backyard, and so her house is like a 2-story house, so she's high up. So she could see people behind her house, but like
Yeah.
they're still picking poppies. It's illegal.
Don't stomp on flowers or pick poppies.
No?
Yeah.
That's California.
That is really our generation. We do take pictures of everything, and it's cool.
Yeah.
But like, don't fuck up other things
and
to
then-
get your cool photo.
And then the pictures aren't even like there to be appreciated. They're more as a signal of like you have to come here now. Because like it's like if you take the photo, it's usually like, wow, look at that cool place. Now it's everyone's like, no, now I need to go
Yeah,
there and
yeah.
signal
I
I've
need to
been
get
here.
my
It's like
photo.
a check-in point.
Yeah, no. You know what? It's funny that you say that because I was at the beach the other
15
day.
freaks.
I was sitting out there and it was daytime, and this
She looks
chick
like
and
it.
this guy came, and this girl is like, you could see her making her boyfriend or whoever take photos of her, right? But like, and she's making him take the photos of her like from behind at the beach. And so she's poking her butt out, and she's like, so she's taking photos that she's like pretending not to look. And she's looking to the side, and she's not happy with any of the photos. And I'm just laughing at her because I'm like, this was a fucking pendejo. Like, I've mastered camera timer because I refuse to make people stand there and partake in my nonsense.
She's not lying.
Unless,
Yeah.
like I've mastered it, and if I want you in my photo, I'm gonna fucking drag you in it, and you love me, we're drunk, you're gonna do it. But like, this bitch was getting on my nerves, and then she loses a sandal, and her sandal like falls. So now he's like, homie's trying to like find her sandal, and then she's like, he wants to go look at the ocean, and she is just bitter about walking on the rocks. And I can see, I'm like, bitch, you just took a gang of pictures to brag about a place that you're not even feeling right now. Like, I'm watching you hate this. But you're about to pick a fucking caption for this photo and put it on Instagram like it was the best experience. Like, weird to me. Like,
That is weird.
the odds,
suckers.
just suckers. Like, you don't like the beach, then don't take pictures of the beach all pretty and then try, like, it's
yeah,
weird.
it's like a check-in. It's like a check-in
I
point or like an AA coin. You know, like look at I was here or I did this. Like it's like all right.
I heard about that beach thing when I was in line at Trader Joe's with this ratchet ass fucking bitch behind me talking hella loud on FaceTime. But talking like, I was like, what are they talking about? Because she's like rolling up, being like, this is all dumb as hell. Like, we gotta wait in line. And then when you get inside, they don't even stop people from getting close to you. I don't want people close to me. Meanwhile, this bitch rolls up like 2 feet behind me. I look at her like, honey, get the fuck away from me. And then she's talking to her friend and being like, yeah, I don't know. They look good individually, but they're not even. It's not even. And the girl was like, well, yeah, I know. Like, they should be even, right? They're not. She's like, no, like I said, they look individually, they look good, but they don't match. They should match. And then I'm like listening more, and they're fucking talking about the girl on the phone's boob job.
Damn.
You
That's
are in
fucked up. I'd be
line.
pissed if some bitch had my business out there at Trader Joe's about my botched boob job.
I know. And then she goes, and then the girl on the phone goes, see, I like this one better because the other one looks too natural. And so the girl behind me goes, oh, so you think you look fatter because it looks too natural? She's like, yeah, I don't know. I just spent thousands of dollars on these. And like,
Stimulus check.
I fucking don't wanna, yeah, exactly. And they should be matching and they're not. Okay, ghettos. Get out of here. No, and then at one point she's like, oh, I got another FaceTime. So she answered another FaceTime call, and like, Melania, it would be like if I called you and I said I won the lotto. That's the amount of streaming that started happening because some man replied to a tweet of hers. Oh my God, I saw the tweet. That was quick. And then screaming. And then at one point she goes, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I want to be like, bitch, the people inside of Trader Joe's inside the fucking freezer can hear you right now. We all hear you. You're putting everything on blast. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I'm looking at this guy across the street who's talking to three invisible people. And I'm like, I'd rather be fucking hanging out with that dude than the girl behind me. Jesus, who's nutter? Who's crazier?
Oh my God.
They're the
Yeah.
people who are like, why are you always all up in my business? Like, because you're yelling
Because
at
you're yelling
You're
at
just
you. You
broadcasting
literally
it.
just told me all of your business.
Across the street. Yeah, everyone could hear you.
That's my new. I've seen that a bunch lately. Of people will post something and someone will come and comment something negative on me, and I've seen a lot of. I'm gonna have to ask you to take that negativity away from this post unless you're gonna talk about this or do that. It's just like it's weird interactions. People are fucking weird. People are weird and getting
Well,
weirder.
yeah, somebody posted something on Instagram, and then I responded to it, and he's like, I mean, I didn't need your negativity. And I was like, wait a minute, you're the one who posted talking shit about nurses who should be saving lives, but are making TikTok videos. And
they did make a lot of TikTok
they
videos,
did,
though,
but
to
like
be
at the
fair.
same time,
To be fair, like I
you're
get
spending
mad at any
fucking
profession
12
doing
hours
that.
out of your fucking day around sick people that can possibly fucking make you sick. And if you're on your fucking break and you do a little dance, you should be able to. That's all I'm saying.
But you're
Like,
American, you should be able to.
People,
But
we need to
also,
be
like,
nicer.
it's not like they did all that shit in one take.
You don't know that.
All right. Well, they choreographed it. Like a lot of those. I'm just saying.
I mean,
whatever.
I've seen
If
people
they're
make
Americans,
TikTok
you're allowed to do
videos
whatever you want.
firsthand, and they're pretty good at them.
Who cares?
Yeah, like I don't care if a
That
nurse does
people,
that.
just because they're nurses doesn't mean that they have to be nurses 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
And
like
how do
if
we
that
know they
gets
were
them through
nurses?
the
Just
day,
'cause they're wearing
if
those
that
scrubs?
gets them
Yeah,
through their
that could have been
day, like
anyone.
of happiness, that like, shut up. Like, and I just gave him my perspective. Like, dude, my homie's a nurse, and they're not even giving him the proper masks. He asked for a proper mask, and instead they ordered a fucking In-N-Out truck to feed the nurses. It's like, okay, you guys can rent us a fucking In-N-Out truck.
pretty dope.
That's cool, but I want the proper mask to keep me safe away from my patients'
Yeah.
germs. So fuck that. Like, nurses are going through a lot of shit too. Like my homegirl's Reina, she's a COVID nurse. She's continuing having to house herself in quarantine when she's like the week that she works. They rent a room and she has to sleep by herself, be by herself, like shit like that. It's like, she's a nurse. Yes, she 100% made that decision
They
to
rent her
become a nurse.
They rent her a hotel room.
She is not specific about it, but they have a set place for the nurses to sleep when she's
Probably
going
those
and
hotels have been empty.
Like co-ed nurses and male nurses and female nurses all just sleeping there.
She's by herself in that room, but
She
they're
sounds like
housing
an episode
her.
of Scrubs.
Yeah,
man.
they
They're
start
housing
begging.
her. I don't know.
There's
It's
gonna be a
weird.
bunch of baby nurses coming out soon.
But I mean, with TikTok,
Baby
I just look
doctors.
at it like a smoke break. Like when I quit
Exactly.
smoking cigarettes at work, like, and I would still go outside for like 5 minutes every hour because that's what I would do. I'd go outside and smoke cigarettes, and people would be like, "Well, you quit smoking. Why are you going outside all the time? You don't have to take these breaks." I'm like, "Yeah, but I want to." So
All
just
I'm
going
saying
to.
is, if you post some shit on social media,
best.
whatever you post, be ready to get negative or positive remarks. And if you don't want it, turn the fucking comment section off, or don't fucking post shit that you don't really want to talk about. Because
Yeah,
that's what
also-
I don't post anything on the internet that I'm like, oh, you know, bitches want to criticize me. Okay, I don't care. Oh, you smoke a lot. Oh, you do this. Good.
I
Like,
post shit that I'm ashamed of.
Whatever,
this
and that
bitch,
happens
this bitch
in
is
real
like,
life.
oh, you shouldn't be posting cooking for your kid and then smoking a blunt after. But it's like, why, bitch? That's my life. I'm a good mom and I smoke weed.
Yep.
The fuck, it doesn't make me a bad mom. There's a bunch of fucking sober moms that ain't shit. Like, you know, it's
You know,
just one of those weird things.
That's like in real life too. Like this bitch said behind me, she was like, I was gonna go to this party, and I'm like, I'm really good with meeting people and with new people. I just didn't know anybody, and I wanted to be like, bitch, think about what you just said. You dumb as hell. Shut the fuck up and start talking in my ear. You know what I mean? Well, we would have problems. But you know what? In this COVID era, life's too short. What if I got hit by a truck right after that, and then I never told that bitch shut the fuck up? You know what I mean?
You gotta tell people to shut the fuck up
You gotta tell people to shut the fuck up.
all the time. You know?
That's just what it is. I'm definitely, I'm not shy to that one.
No. You know, I think it's a good release valve to have.
You know what else is a good release valve?
What?
Plants and gardening.
You're right. Serafina, just
Drawing all this out.
This picture that you're stuck on.
I know.
I took a screenshot of it so that we can save it because it's fucking great.
It is so funny.
it's
man.
so good because she's just staring us
I feel
down.
like we could put a lot of Serafina audio to this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
That might be the plan. Just put a bunch of audio to that.
Yeah.
Do it. Put me on blast. Give me some followers.
I was thinking about doing it when you were telling that story. I put it all the way up there, and I was like, I'm just gonna capture this. You're doing voices and shit. I was like, that could be fun.
Am I still stuck on it?
Yeah, you're stuck.
Yeah,
You're
it's just-
I don't know if you can turn your
dogging us
camera
out.
on or off, but yeah, you look like you're like pissed off.
You look like you're looking at us like you're tired of our
you're,
shit.
like you're writing down all our bad shit we're doing. Yeah.
I know.
Like, I'm
Oh,
writing this down.
definitely such a different photo. That's a sweet look.
That's
What
a
did we do
different
to you,
Serafina.
Serafina?
I took that photo. That's in the cinema. Back when the rocks were over.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
We could hear you. That's kind of cool too. You're like
Can you see me now?
No, but now when you talk, we can hear your like.
you're a pulsing orb.
Yeah. You're like a ball of light every
kinda
time
like
you
it.
talk.
Well, that's better than me being stuck like a fool.
You do look friendlier now too.
God damn. Why don't y'all tell me I look like an angry beaver? I do have anger problems. I will be the first to admit.
No, it wasn't anger. It was a good picture. We'll
It's
send
a good
it to
photo.
you. We'll send it to you. You'll enjoy
Great
it.
photo. Probably the look that you look at.
Like a Karen female.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how you look at Andy when you're sick of his shit.
Karen Fina?
Aaron Fida.
Oh man. Speaking of Karens, I read a great Medium article this week that got deleted, and then the Internet Archive I had saved got deleted of it too. So unfortunately, I can't pull it up at the moment. But it was the herb lady in New Jersey wrote an article about how everyone should stop buying yeast at the grocery store because she needs it.
Oh, it's hers.
Yeah, she needs it because she makes all her own bread. She makes all her own food. Now it's just a hobby for people. So she needs it and she can't find it. And it was a fucking great article. And her name was actually Karen too. And it was with a C. And at
That's
first I
just
thought
like
it was a
respect.
joke. And I looked into it and she's like, no, she's like an herbologist. They call her like the herb lady. Like she's like some middle-aged herb lady. And it's fucking, but it was wild. It was the most Karen thing I read this week, and it was by Karen.
Toyota's calling me, you guys. Give me a second. Let's see what's up with Bertha. Hello.
All right.
Yeah, these Karens, man.
That was pretty
An
funny.
actual Karen.
I heard
Did-
Corona comes from the word Karen.
Karen?
So,
Did you guys see Elon Musk had his baby?
yeah, he named it that weird
Elon
name.
Musk?
I don't even know I don't even know how to say it.
It's like Alpha something AI
Nuh-uh.
AXF or something like that.
Yeah, I think there's a 12 in there or something.
Yeah, it's like one of it is like a nerdy way to spell AI, which is like an A that has like an M like a sideways M attached to the leg of the A. If
Oh,
you
I thought that was the tool symbol. I thought
It
that was
probably-
like
it's
the
a
tool
thing
album
tools
thing.
use.
Yeah.
No, but so it's that, and then it's like the predecessor of his favorite ship's code name, and then I think
And-
Alpha is like it was like some god that I don't know. Brian Adams posted a thing that like broke it down and says what it is, but I doubt that's his real name. I think he's trolling everyone. Like that's because he would I don't know. Is he smart?
I mean, I don't even think a hospital computer could put those symbols.
I don't even
You know,
think
how
he
you gonna put
could
that on a birth
get a woman
certificate?
pregnant. He's a
So,
Tesla penis.
I just looked up Elon Musk's children, and it's Nevada Alexander,
Yeah. I know.
Damien, Griffin, Xavier.
Did he say
Sax-
Damien?
Kai. He has 1 million children.
Look up
He's
him
rich
and
as fuck,
Grimes.
and he's South African.
Because the
Well,
mother
new
was that.
one is, the new one is XA, the AE, that's together, A-12.
I told you.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
The name
Elon
of
Musk's new kid.
baby.
What's his baby's name?
Say it again, Fida.
X, and then like the AE, that's together.
Like an A with an M on it. Like
AE, I'll show you. And then an A-12, look.
I can't see your camera.
Oh, yeah, we can't see you, sir.
Oh, you can't see me.
Yeah.
That's the baby's name.
It
And
has that in it.
there's a lowercase way to write that AE too.
Yeah, but it's that's in it, and then it's like it's X.
I'm sending it to you
It's
now.
X that. Then what is it? A22. What is it?
12. Yeah, she's 12.
A-12.
I just sent you a screenshot, Mel.
Yeah, I saw a breakdown of it, and apparently one of them, it's like, oh, it's our favorite ship, which isn't a warship. It was just super fast or something like.
Yeah.
Just some ridiculous fucking.
Well, his new girlfriend's
Crazy
name is
shit.
Grimes.
She's
Her
an
first name?
Well, it just says
She's
his
an art-
girlfriend Grimes.
she's a singer.
What does she say?
She's a singer.
Never heard of her.
Oh,
Leanne Grimes.
Oh, so Grimes is her last name.
Who would name?
No, I was saying, I was just trying to make a joke.
Oh, oh, Leanne Grimes, pendeja. Damn, I didn't even catch that.
Pendeja.
I did.
So you guys,
What?
it's beneficial to be a cute girl sometimes, and I don't give a shit. I hate that girls get mad about using what they have to just get what they want, and I didn't even try hard. I went to Toyota today, took my car in. I could tell that the guy was like looking at me in my butt, and then I talked to him about like a sticker he had on his computer about shoes and shit. We got into a conversation, and right now he like hit me up, and I was like, "Hey, I'm a AAA member. Like, am I gonna get a discount? Does that get me a discount?" He's like, "Oh, don't even worry about it. I got you. Like, I'm gonna take care of you. You're not gonna have to pay for anything." I was like, "Fuck yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'm good." Because I took the car in to get the brake override fixed, but also there was like a warranty or a recall on my car. And I haven't been that scared of the recall. I got the fucking letter in the mail like almost 2 years ago, but I was like, man, this fucking car is not gonna blow. Like, I guess the recall was the 2015 Sienna. Like the maintenance, the wires, something was messed up in the doors, so people's doors were fucking like just opening up while they're on the freeway and shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, which is crazy, but it's like nobody's gonna fucking fly out the car if they have their seatbelt on. Like the fucking car's gonna open up. Whoa.
Yeah, you just slow down and get off the freeway.
You get
Like-
sucked out like a plane.
No.
How
That's
fast
not
do you-
true. Not in a minivan. You can't go that fast in a minivan. I mean, Bertha goes, but
That's
it
a
goes.
pressure. Not
Yeah.
because of
That's because speed.
no.
The first time I took my car in a place in LA, I had a Dodgers shirt on. And I'm not a Dodgers fan, and I was wearing it in protest, but also I ripped the sleeves off, so it was a cool shirt and it was hot as hell. And I remember it was like on Hyperion in East LA. I brought it in, and it was the beginning of baseball season, and the guy was like, "Oh, you're a Dodgers fan? Hell yeah!" And I'm a Giants fan, and it took everything in me to be like, "Don't say it. Just say you're a Dodgers fan." And I said I was a Dodgers fan, and I got fucking 50% off because, you know, the titties in that shirt.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's like, come on, don't be mad at
A
that.
little bit of pride and be like, "Fuck yeah, go Dodgers."
Yeah.
Let me afford to eat this week, please.
Yeah. No, somebody told me, I told them I took my car to the dealer, and they were like, yeah, I took my car to get an oil change at the dealership, and now $3,500 later, there's a fuck ton of things wrong with my car, and they want me to pay all that. And I was like, yeah. Right when I got into, right, and my dad's so smart, dude, like, man, love that dude. That fool told me yesterday, go buy a battery and go buy oil, and I'm gonna do this shit before you take the car in tomorrow because they're gonna try to sell you all this in there. And legit, the fucking second that I got into the dealership today, the guy's like, it's probably your battery. You wanna just buy a battery? Like, nope, I just bought a battery. Like, my dad called it exactly for what it was. And, yeah, so it's cool. I'm glad that got fixed. Speaking of Rod, he's calling me.
Oh, right. Maybe it's a good time
Well,
to.
speaking of call, and who should we call it?
I think so. I mean, if Rod's calling, I think it's time to call it.
All right, well,
pretty
we're
warm.
calling it.
Calling it.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us on this mature adult time.
Stay safe, wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your hands and your butts.
Especially your butts.
Especially your butts.
Use your hands to wash your butts, and then wash your hands after you wash your butt.
That's what I've been doing. Toilet paper prices are ridiculous. I'd much rather wash my hands harder.
Yeah. Katie, you're a lucky woman.
Yep.
Who do you think taught me? Katie's teaching me to go green. Handed. All right.
All right, later, Fina.
Later, man.
Later.
Later, everybody. We'll see you hopefully next week.
Oh, yeah.
Happy
Hell yeah.
quarantine.
Happy quarantine.
Bye.